Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Fly Girl Lady J, aka Jineea Butler, for the New American Perspective here on Millennium News 24. Now, have you missed me? Because I have missed you. I haven't seen you in the last 2 weeks, and so we've got so much going on in America. I need your perspective. Where are you? It's ready. Are you ready for a nap? Are you ready to take a nap? It's time to take a nap. Your New American Perspective here in the flesh. I celebrated my 50th birthday last week, ladies and gentlemen. And I celebrated my 50th birthday last week, ladies and gentlemen, and I feel marvelous. It's a new day. So my next 50 years, we're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to have some perspectives, and we're going to change America, and let's change the world. For all you guys that are listening across the world, thank you so much for tuning in today to the New American Perspective. Okay, so now let's get right down to it. Since we're in the New York area, this is a G check. Okay, so who you voting for? Now, you ain't got to tell me, because when you voting, let me say this, voting is your own choice. So you never have to tell anybody who you're voting for. That's why you go into the curtain room and you get to make that choice yourself. Now, we have a few great elections coming up, and I want to know what you think. What you think? Put it in the comment section. That's what everybody is saying right now. So who are you voting for? So now we have Zoran Mamdani. Okay, he is a young 33-year-old Democratic socialist. On this past weekend, now look what he did. Him, AOC, and Bernie Sanders and the Democrats, the Socialists of America, got together and packed the stadium out in Forest Hills, Queens, and it was like a president run. Okay, so now everybody's calling Mamdani, the leader of the Democratic Party. Now, is that true just because we're in New York? Now, a young 33-year-old mayor toppling the system in New York is big. Now, Curtis Sewa. Everybody is saying Curtis Sewa, the Republican candidate, should drop out and give the race to Cuomo, because everybody should come together and support Cuomo. Now, Sewa, he been out there for a long time. He been stabbed. He been fighting New York crime for a long time. And he's my choice. He's my choice. But I'm going to go with what the people say. We, the people, right? And the people are saying, listen, Curtis Sewa, the guardian angel, very loved in New York City, cannot win this election. So we are letting Curtis go. Okay. And so, I think that it's wrong, because what's the point of running for election if you think that you're the best one for it, and then people are telling you to step down? But people are telling you to step down for the benefit of the rest of the city, and you feel like you're the benefit of the rest of the city. Why wouldn't I be running if I didn't think I could beat this guy? So he had a big fallout with 77 WABC, who he's been working with for the last, 6 or 7 years at the radio station. He said he's not going back to the radio station to be on the radio. John Catsimatidis, owner of Gastides Red Apple Group, one of my mentors, he and I had a conversation, and he said, what are we going to do if he can't win and this socialist gets in here? And New York is losing it for the rest of the country, because once, the underdogs of the country start thinking that, we can have a socialist and America will pay for everything that we doing, and we ain't got to get up, we ain't got to do nothing. They want socialism. So Mamdani, everybody at the stadium, they were all yelling, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you think the rich should be taxed, right? So I feel like, I'm a hard worker. I may not be in the rich category yet, but when we talk about tax the rich, I hear it saying to myself, now, I didn't put in 30 plus years of hard work of what other people wouldn't do. Other people won't do the things that I would do, take the things that I would take. So now when I'm about to hit the jackpot, y'all talking about tax the rich. Now, this is an ongoing thing, but I feel some type of way about it too, because when you talk about taxing the rich, you're talking about taking away from my hard-earned work and everything. And then so I'm supposed to say, oh, well, there's people in this country who need my money more than me, even though that I made a goal and I chased my money. Now, these people may not have known of the goal, may not have known of the opportunity, may not have felt they had an American dream opportunity. But what the socialists say tax them ever for 70%, because who do they think they are with the money in the country? I think I'm the person that worked for it. So what Mom Dami and what people want to do, what they want to do is they want to lower the housing prices and make New York affordable for all New Yorkers. Is there anything wrong with that? No. That needs to happen. But how it needs to happen and who's behind this, because now this is going to be a snowball effect, people. So be careful. It's out early voting. You can start early voting now. Tuesday's the last day. Tuesday, November 4th, which is next week, is the last day that you can physically vote, but you can vote early now so you can go to your polling places now. But what I'm saying is be careful of your vote to change the trajectory of everything's going on. Now, everybody is saying Cuomo is not the best. And I don't like that either, because it's always with us, the lesser of two evils. What is the lesser of two evils? What is this? What is that? What? I don't know. Okay. But what I'm saying is that we have to focus on what's happening, because now a lot of the rich people that he wants to tax, he's going to talk about some, oh, I just want to put another 1 or 2.2% tax on what they're already doing, plus everything else that's going on, plus, all this other stuff. So the rich are going to leave New York City. So New York City can have itself when there's no rich to tax. Now, who's going to pay for your money? So now these next 4 years with Mom Dami, if he comes in, if he's victorious, right now he's up in the polls. But these next 4 years with him and Trump, you're only making this worse for us, because Trump is going to cut off the valve to New York City, because there's a socialist there, and we don't want America to be socialist. Now, what's going to happen is AOC is now going to run against Schumer as for in the Senate. So now you're going to give this woman more power. She hasn't proved anything but that she could create the discourse, right? So they put all this money behind him. Jamal Bowman, former Congressman Jamal Bowman, is in there. I bet you he'll be the chief of staff or something, because he's been walking everybody around. Zohan was at the garden thinking that he can take over the garden. New York Knicks said, we do not. They sent him a cease and desist. They said, we do not with you. So we're up out of here. So they did that, right? So now Bernie, AOC is going to run for Senate, and they've got some other races that they're trying to win. Now, here's the problem with socialism. I love the fact that, they think that everybody should be equal, but everybody is not equal. Okay. And we have to be real about that. Some people have ailments. Some people have, situations where they need help. And I think that we should help them. But the part where you take all my money and give it to them and then tell me, good job, you helped out America and that was your duty. He's talking about, Mom Dami is talking about, he doesn't even want people to have private property. Where they do that at? So now we're not supposed to own the private property. He said that he's going to open up government run supermarkets. So, okay, wait a minute. Government run supermarkets. So that means during this time where the government is now shut down, what's going to happen to the food in there? Are we not going to get the food shipment? What is going to happen when it's government run? Well, I guess New York wants to see what that's like, because I don't know, unless there's a huge surge in the polls, unless there's, something catastrophic that's going to happen, whether Curtis jumps out, because we know Mayor Adams, he dropped out the race. Mayor Adams dropped out the race before it got too bad for everybody. Said the black man is ruining New York. So now it's not the black man. So let's take it off there, because he said he did his best, right? And maybe his best was a little cuckoo, but he did his best. And I think that he did a lot of good work for New York. I think that he just got caught up. I think he got drunk on power, if you ask me about Mayor Adams. I think that is the end all to be all. How you like my hair? I got my hair out, no braids today. Well, that is the end all to be all with Mayor Adams. Okay, so he drops out. So we have, and he's still on the ballot. If you look at the ballot, Mayor Adams is still on the ballot. So people that are still want to vote for Eric Adams is there. People who want to vote for Curtis Seedwa, he is still there. And people who want to vote for Cuomo or Mamdani. And there's a couple other people that I hadn't heard their names on the ballot. And so where are you with this, right? Where are you, New York? Are you alive and awake and are going to make this change? Part of me says, hey, we might need a change. But the other part is like, this is too much of a drastic change that people really don't understand what's happening to this community or to these people. That's my problem, right? Is that we don't know. Now, Hakeem Jeffries, he stepped in. He's another one that they're going to be putting somebody in Congress against Hakeem Jeffries. But what Hakeem did, he's the leader of the party right now. And so what Hakeem did is he went and endorsed Mamdani. Now this is who the Democrats in New York City chose. So should he go against that and be like, I'm going with Cuomo and all this? No, because he's going to be challenged by a socialist. So he's going to come out, mark my words, my words are pretty good, but he's going to come out and he's going to say, when he's challenged by the socialists, that he's not with the socialism and everything. I just think New York is going to be in a complete disarray in the upcoming election. Okay, I think that New York is going to be completely crazy. Okay, so election night next Tuesday, did you go vote? Put it in the comments. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Then we also have the New York governor's race. Okay. Shout out to Citarelli and the family, Maurice, the black Republican over there, holding it down for New Jersey. Okay. So look, New Jersey is on the edge too. I think it's 45-46 or something like that. Or maybe that's another race. But they're points apart in this New Jersey election against Mikey Sherrill and Citarelli. Okay, I'm going for Citarelli in this one because Mikey Sherrill, she's not a New Jersey resident. She's in the Air Force. She's coming up with her little come up and she wants to be governor. I don't know her. I'm gonna go with the New Jersey born mafia dude, Citarelli. You know what I'm saying? That's who I'm voting for governor of New Jersey, which is a very big race, New Jersey, okay, because we're going to have to decide where we're going after this, after Trump. Now, did you hear that Trump is renewing the fact that he don't want to leave office 2028? No, I'm sorry, sir. The reason why you're going to have to leave office 2028 is not because you can't change the constitutional guidelines, but we're going to need you to leave because you're going to be a little too old and we can't trust that your mind is going to be on point. And just because you're Trump don't mean that you can beat Father Time, my man. So we know that he's considering running 2028. We don't know what kind of rules that they're going to break, because Trump will break all rules and say, fix it then. Make me do it. Okay, the judges and the courts. That's what kind of gangster we got in the White House. But then, how about that he knocked out the White House? So he knocked out the whole West Wing of the White House. And he's building, capital improvements on the White House and this ballroom. I can't wait to go to the ballroom. Let me see this ballroom that you're talking about, Trump. Okay, so I hope that you guys are tuned in, and I hope that you cast your vote or considering who to vote for, but look a little deeper. Do me a favor and Google what a democratic socialist is, or socialist as a party. It's almost close to communism. You know, Trump calls Mamdani a commie, Mamdani the commie. Um, there's the other couple of people that got names for him, and I don't think that it should be name calling, because I think that the American political system should be respected. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back on Millennium News 24 with your host Jineea Butler here on the New American Perspective. And we're talking perspectives, we're talking New York, we're talking New Jersey, and we're going to talk about that governor's race in South Carolina. Talk to you soon.